Okay, so before we start, I want to say something up top because I suspect I'll plug it in and it's going to be part of the cold open. This is our third Pinocchio movie we've watched and the first one to make me tear up.
What? No.
It's honest to God, it happened, and I was like, "That's hilarious! That's so
Really?
fucking funny."
The Drew Carey's, I would say, weirdly dissonant sitcom performance did something for you.
Yeah. Welcome to Direct to Video, VHS.
VHS.
A podcast where we pair movies like fine wine. I'm your host, Tony Robusto. I'm trying to say it now.
I'm your host, Andy Reyes. Andy Evergreen Reyes. I keep forgetting when we do this. I'm in such a flow. Like, I have legally changed my name.
Yeah, you got the ER.
I got the ER in there. A-E-E-R. I have never in my life, it's been so long, there is nothing, absolutely nothing on the production of this masterpiece.
I mean, Drew Carey was executive producer. You might be able to call him.
But that's the thing is like there are so many people attached to this who are like people, like they're like Brent, like who talk about everything they've ever done all the time, right? There is no shortage of podcasts, of Comic-Con interviews, with Brent Spiner and Renee Auberjonois, right? Juliana Louis-Dreyfus is constantly doing interviews.
Do you know what I love about all that you're saying right now?
Yeah.
Is that when I was a kid, I watched a lot Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right. This is what I was going to get to.
I know the one place that Geppetto was ever talked about.
Right, that's the thing, is they brought it up on that all the time.
All the time. There's a classic one. I tried to find the clip of it, and I couldn't. I just found the quote. It was, it was Scenes from a Hat. The prompt was Good News, Bad News. And it was, Merry Christmas, Jimmy. Look, it's Geppetto on DVD. and then when True got like kind of pouty faced about it, Wayne Brady leans toward him and was like, I liked it. I was in
it. You forget.
And says the bad news was it was Christmas. But that is the level of how people ever, I feel like, talk about this movie. I'm sure there are people who are nostalgic for it because I think it's a perfectly serviceable movie, and if you watch it as a kid, you'll have nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think there's anybody who worked on it who was like, this movie, we were trying something, you know? Even though I think they were.
It really feels like the only person who was passionate about it was Drew Carey, and that kind of makes me sad. That's not true. There's one other person in this movie who I think was super excited to be on it, and that's Usher. Because why the fuck is Usher in this movie?
He's pretty good in this movie.
He's fine. He's perfectly okay. I think the song he's singing is bad, but like I think he's good in it.
I think so. This is one of the movies that I watched alone. Because my partner is a coward. But I watched it and I was like, I should have watched this with my cousin, who is very into like musicals and also dancing, because I think there is a lot of technical stuff in this movie that would be interesting for her to see because she knows more about it than I do. But I was also like, this music is music that my girlfriend would hate, because she dislikes a type of music that she says sounds like generic musical music.
Yeah.
And I think this is like right fucking there.
I mean, like, you look at the guy who wrote the music for this, right? This is the guy who wrote Pocahontas lyrics, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Prince of Egypt, Geppetto.
Oh, okay.
That's mean. But okay. But then, Enchanted.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I only think one of the songs, maybe two of the songs, hit okay. And one of the lines hits hard enough that it did make me tear up.
It's just, it feels unfair. Like, I think the Stephen Schwartz is the name of the lyricist, and composer. He was the lyricist for Pocahontas and Hunchback. He was the composer and lyricist for Prince of Egypt, Geppetto, and then he also worked on Wicked and Wicked for Good, which sure. It's just one of those things where it's like, this guy clearly like knows his stuff. It does feel like he just didn't have enough time to really like, I don't know, like, for lack of a better word, like tune it in to like what the tone of this movie should be.
I think this movie cannot be judged too harshly, because when I watched this movie, there was an aspect of it that impressed me genuinely, because I was like, this is like a cheap movie that is again made to be like a stage play. Yes. And as somebody who doesn't get to fucking go out and see stage plays, I think that's a really fun idea. And I like that they were able to bring across the artifice of a stage play. Like this, the whole thing looks and feels fake, but you don't care because it's working.
It feels...
Pinocchio doesn't look like a wooden boy.
No,
and
he doesn't.
But here's the thing, I don't care.
Like, it's fine. I can suspend my disbelief.
It still works on that level, and because of that, I also kind of think of this as sort of like how we talked about Rescuers being like a B-side movie. This really feels like a B-side movie. It's fine. It's not great. But like, I would like a lot more movies like this, honest to God, because like, I think it would be neat just to see a bunch more movies doing like singing and dancing without having to have a bunch of huge effects around it.
Right. I guess it's the thing about this movie that I found really quaint is a lot of this movie feels like it was just shot at Disneyland, right? I think that's the effect you're talking about.
Fucking perfect perfect word for this movie. This movie is quaint as fuck.
It's quaint as hell. Like it's so, but also like it's so weird to see a production like this and have it be like built sets. Mm-hmm. Like that's because when this came out in 2000, so it was being made in like 98, 99, and it's like it feels like after the turn of the millennium, this kind of TV movie just doesn't exist anymore outside of like Disney Channel original movies.
Right.
But two, at a certain point, like we could become so reliant on CGI and like, that like, I don't know, it would be really hard to make something feel like this. This kind of state, I guess Cats does a pretty good job of feeling like that, but Andy, that's for like a whole different reason.
Honest to God, I thought to myself, if they filmed Cats like this and they kept everything else the same, Cats might end up being like a good movie, and to the point where I think people might have forgotten it. Like genuinely, like if Cats was filmed like this, people might have been like, "Oh yeah, there was that Cats movie that they released. I think Ian McKellen was in it. That's a get." Right. And then like that would be it. Because they wouldn't talk about it like it was the craziest film of all time.
Well, Cats even got their own usher in the form of what was it? It was oh wait, hold on. I have to think of the song that he sings. Jason Derulo. They got Jason Derulo for Cats, which does feel very much like their usher, right? Just like we got the biggest R&B pop artist in America to be in our dumb little movie. So just here's the one thing I can tell you about the production of this film, because once I say this, it really puts kind of the whole production into a weird perspective. So the idea for the movie Geppetto originally was supposed to be a reunion for Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. With Julie Andrews as the Blue Fairy and Dick Van Dyke as Geppetto. Right?
It's just like we're so far from the light of God on that. It's not, so did not happen on every aspect.
It's like they were like, this is gonna be like almost like a weird pseudo sequel to Mary Poppins.
And I think that totally would have worked, and it definitely goes with the feel of the movie, which is like a level of like kitsch. Which I think is perfectly fine and what the movie wants to be.
Yeah, and so obviously, like, because for a variety of reasons, scheduling, but also I think Julie Andrews was like going through some kind of like surgical procedure. They just couldn't happen, right? And so the production just completely shifted. There was a
time there when Julie Andrews like didn't do a lot of stuff for medical reasons.
Right.
I don't know. I think Dick Van Dyke has always been surprisingly easy to get for anything.
He will do anything and everything. When he showed up at Night at the Museum, I lost my mind as a kid. I was like, what are you doing here? As the janitor?
I mean, he turned out to be a villain, if that helps. He got to be a villain.
But you know, and God, he's so good as a villain. I do.
He killed his wife in Columbo. That was a good episode.
That was a good episode. I think Dick Van Dyke has a certain kitschy energy. Now, I haven't watched the Drew Carey Show. Not familiar. No. I was a Home Improvement kid. You know, I was like Tim the Tool Man. You know,
I'll tell you a secret though, Andy. They're both on TV.
Yeah, dog. But I watched one and not the other. I was a child. It was
I was a child too. I watched a lot of television.
The two big sitcoms that I watched when I was a kid were Home Improvement and The Fresh Prince, and like that was it. I was like, nothing gets better than this.
To be fair, I mean that's wrong. Malcolm in the Middle was also on TV at the time. If you are going to pick a best like family sitcom of that generation, I think it would be Malcolm in the Middle. But Home Improvement. Really? Yeah,
really.
If you go
Malcolm
back
in the Middle
and see those performances, they're fucking amazing. Genuinely, hand to God.
I think I just don't remember liking Malcolm in the Middle. Okay, first of all, Malcolm in the Middle is post 2000s.
Is it later? Okay.
It's literally like from 2000 to 2006 or whatever. I'm talking like 90s.
We're getting so off point. All I was going to say was that it does make a lot of sense for you to have been watching the sitcom that features kids on it.
Right.
Then the sitcom that, like, yes, theoretically you can have kids watch this, but it's about a guy who works at a department store.
Right. It would be like if my favorite show was According to Jim.
Right. The thing that Drew Carey did is it hit a niche that had only ever been really explored before by Dilbert. Which was like, this is a show about putting up with your coworkers. Like, there's other stuff that happens. There's goofy shit that happens, but it's a show about having to put up with your coworkers. And now every sitcom is like that. It's very hard to find a sitcom that's about friends who like each other. They're all like, these people gotta work together. Isn't that wacky? God. And like,
Craig
I guess.
Ferguson is in this show?
Dude, this was his break.
What?
Yes! Craig Ferguson was in this show.
Oh my god, Diedrich Bader? Amazing.
Did you not know that Diedrich Bader was in this show?
I've never seen the show!
His name is, I believe,
It's not called the
Oswald Lee
Dietrich
Harvey,
Bader
which
Show.
is such a weird deep cut.
His name is. That's really funny, actually.
It's a fucking good show. It's a fascinating show to me. For like a weird specific reason, which is it was late 90s into early 2000s, and is the last show. It's basically the show in that era that's like, you can see where sitcoms stop talking about God.
Yeah.
Where like the idea of the like Central American experience moves away from default Christian, and I find that fascinating, and the show helps map that. All that's basically has nothing to do with anything.
No.
Okay? Because all it meant was that Drew Carey was kind of a big name.
I think, funnily enough, he's a bigger name now.
Oh yeah, I mean, just
like
people see him every day
show host.
On TV. As a game show host. But like, I guess I would say like rising star. Because I believe he also like produced that show. So it was explicitly like his thing. And then he also did Whose Line, and this was going up against Friends. Didn't immediately get canceled.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. It feels like sitcoms used to be like, you could like throw a golf ball and you'd hit some up and coming stand-up comedian who got a sitcom. Right? Like, they used to just be the thing you did. It kind of feels like almost like the follow-up to like in the 70s, you would just get a variety hour.
Yeah.
If you were famous enough. Like, I'm a famous singer, I get my own variety hour. Like, now, and then in the 90s, it was, I'm a famous stand-up comedian, I get my own sitcom. It didn't feel like you had to compete with Friends because, like, you would just get 6 seasons of whatever. Like, according to fucking Jim got.
That was on the same channel as Friends. This is not important.
But all that to say, I guess, that Geppetto feels like it made sense at the time, but it also feels like nobody talks about it, right? People talk about the you mentioned earlier, the Brandy Cinderella movie more than they talk about this.
I think people really like that movie.
It's really good. I mean, I really like it. It's really good.
But that's the thing, is these are from the same, this is, I believe, the same production idea of like, we are making essentially a follow-up to one of our classic movies, or reimagining of our classic movies, essentially as a stage production, but not really a stage production because we're putting it on TV.
Right. But it has the auspices of being like a stage musical.
Yes. Which I think that Geppetto, while it does some interesting stuff, is more forgettable because Cinderella is a bigger deal than Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I also just think that Brandy as a musical lead was just always gonna be stronger than Drew Carey. I don't even think that's a rude thing to say.
No, it really isn't.
He is not doing bad at the music. It's just not great.
Well, here, I guess it's kind of the thing is like, he's not a singer. I think he's fine. I think he does an okay job in the singing role, but he's got no range.
Yes.
Which is the problem, right?
He's surprisingly high, I thought.
That's just what he sounds like when he's talking.
No, I think it is, but it kind of surprised me because I was like, I think if I were trying to sing this, I would be in a much lower register. And it kind of like surprised me that like, this guy just can't hit that deeper register, I don't think.
No. Well, that's kind of the other thing is like singing is all about confidence. And it feels like Drew Carey is not a confident singer, which is understandable, I think, if you're him. But that being said, a very confident dancer.
Yeah.
Like, right? Absolutely. I was surprised. I was blown away by how much dancing he did in this movie.
The dancing is, I think, if there's like a big standout of the movie, the dancing stands out way more than the singing. for basically everybody. Like, it's a surprisingly well choreographed film, I thought, especially after seeing stuff like Cats, which is theoretically a well choreographed film, but also fully insane.
It's
yeah. I was like, I can't pay attention to any of the dancing in Cats.
It's not well, I mean, so Cats has the problem that because there's CGI involved, it's not impressive because you're like, well, they could have touched it up or something. But also then, yeah, there's like a million other choices that they made. Like, what would this movie have looked like, right? If Drew Carey had like CGI'd fur all over his
I don't want to know that.
Semi-nude form.
Semi-nude, nothing. There was at least one dick in a cut of.
There was a full dick.
Anyway.
So here's. Yeah. How old was Drew Carey when this movie came out?
He looks my age.
He looks. I was like, he has to be in his mid-30s. You're telling me that this guy is Geppetto? I was like, this is Geppetto's origin story. At the end of this movie, Andy, he's going to be old.
Andy,
old Geppetto.
This is. So we got to get into the actual thing because that was my biggest issue, especially early in the movie.
Right.
Let's see. It was 1958.
So it would have been 42.
42. Okay, so he's just kind of a young looking guy.
Very good looking for 42.
Honestly, I took a whole ass 10 years off of him. I was like, that guy looks 32.
He looks really young.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but Geppetto, the story of the character that you might not know about.
You might not know.
This movie, I think it's not like the weakest part, but it is narrated by Drew Carey, and I don't think it strictly needs to be.
No.
It's like him telling the story of himself, and it's like, if they wanted to be a little more fun with it, I think they could have had a Jiminy Cricket character narrating the story, and he's never in the story, he's just narrating.
There's a specific, I call it, I think it's a little bit like, it's like Joss Whedon voice. He's like doing Joss Whedon voice in these interstitials where he's narrating, where he's just like, now, I don't know if you know this, but
he'd be throwing around these like jokes that like wouldn't hit too in the interstitials, and it's like, you just gotta do the movie, dude. Like,
yeah. I don't understand. I understand why it exists, and it's because we gotta like cut between these scenes. We have to be able to come back from commercial and have a framing device for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's really clever. I just don't like his delivery.
Yeah, and I think, genuinely, I don't think that the setup of he's telling his own story is very good. I just think, like, anybody else telling the story, if it was, again, Jiminy Cricket, or The Fairy, or Pinocchio, any of those would be good. But the theme of the movie is delved into almost immediately because we get an opening number sung mostly by kids about how much they love Geppetto's toys, and they're dragging their parents along, and the kids are obnoxious, and the parents are very put upon.
Right.
And this is like, great, this is what we're going to do the whole time. It's a little heavy-handed. It's a lot heavy-handed, but But again, the artifice of the thing makes it work for me. Like the level of fake. If I had to deal with this in a movie that was trying to make me believe in the world it was in, I'd be like, fuck this. This is dumb. You know what I mean? But because the movie's like, don't worry, this is going to be a little dumb, I'm like, all right, here we go.
No, it very quickly, what was it? It was the guy who did, what was that jazz musical movie that came out a couple of years ago?
Are you saying La La Land?
Yes, thank you. I was thinking about La La Land.
Okay.
God, that movie came out a decade ago, and god damn, fuck.
Yeah.
I hate that movie so much. I don't hate the movie. I just didn't like it it was a movie that was like everyone was talking about, and I couldn't stand it. But Damien Chazelle said in an interview, like, like he started the movie with this big musical number because he wanted people like to get adjusted to the fact that this movie was going to be a musical. And I don't think it works for La La Land, mostly because I think that intro musical number is kind of pointless and dumb.
There's a bunch of people just like spinning around on the highway, I seem to recall.
On a bridge, and it's like, are they all gonna? They're gonna. They're all dancing on a bridge specifically, and I was like, is an exotic mass suicide about to happen? Like, is this the beginning of Us? And like, I just didn't, and like, I think the point he made really works in this movie, where like 2 seconds into these kids singing, I was like, okay, I know what this movie is.
Right.
All right.
It is actually, I agree that it didn't really work in La La Land. However, I think it's such an important concept to keep in mind because it stops people laughing the fuck out loud during Mean Girls.
Right, exactly.
If there's an opening song in Mean Girls, then you don't have to worry that as soon as somebody sings, everybody's going to be like, that's ridiculous, what's happening?
Right. And I do think it just really like puts you in the mood for, I mean, if you're not interested in this, right, and in the TV era, you just change the channel and that's fine. But I do think like if you were just watching like, I don't know, it's a weird little Drew Carey Pinocchio movie, and then 10 minutes in he starts singing, you'd be like, whoa,
I don't think so, Drew. You sure got the pipes for that.
Drew, I don't know if you could handle this.
Also, I don't know about you. I feel like the fact that there are so many children singing also makes me give this movie a lot of leeway. Because I'm like, I don't expect these kids to be that good at it.
Right, like it's like a children's choir. You're like, right. You're there's a certain expectation of quality that you when you hear, oh, a choir's going to be performing, you're thinking up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're like a children's choir, you're immediately like, well, I don't expect anything. Actually,
I went to a youth theater because I'm doing essentially camp counseling right now. And we went to a youth theater where they did Shrek. And I went in there like, I'm gonna fucking hate this. Andy, they blew it out of the goddamn water. It was such a good production of Shrek. Shrek the musical. Like, and do you know what helped sell it? It's the fact that I sat down like, I'm gonna hate this fucking musical.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything more than what it is when it's kids doing it.
Right.
That being said, how do you feel about, so we have this opening number where these kids are all singing about how much they love toys, and then we have like a brief interstitial moment where this absolutely like disgusting child is like, I want whatever the fuck is under that blanket.
I need to take a brief pause because I need to highlight the first thing that happens when we see Drew Carey is he opens the door. This is our hero Geppetto, and he goes, "Buongiorno," like that. And I was like, that is
Buongiorno.
It is such a delightfully American accent to say Buongiorno, and I was like, I kind of love this.
No, I told May, there's like a very Seinfeldian quality that this movie has with its performances, where everybody just kind of feels like they're not in Italy, even though in the opening shot of this movie, we have two proud, well, I wouldn't say proud, limp, almost ignorable Italian flags.
It's so delightful because they will just say Italian words and then just like keep mowing on through it. And I'm like, you're reading Chef Boyardee off the can is how they deliver it. It is so much like watching a local production of a foreign play. I thought the toy shop wasn't bad because I was thinking when this movie turned on that like, how are they going to reproduce that super, super, super cool scene? All the animation
from the original movie.
From the original. And the answer is like, they just don't bother doing that. They do what I think they make a toy shop that looks, even for a 90s kid, like pretty neat. pretty neat, not amazing because like I want digital shit. I'm in the 90s.
You're right. Like, I want a Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Where are the Transformers?
So yeah, then this little shit.
This absolutely disgusting child. This is the worst kind of kid. She's like, I want what's ever under that blanket.
Who's the kid who blows up in
Violet?
Violet, yeah.
Violet Beauregard?
She's a Violet Beauregard-ass kid. She's like, you told me I could have anything I wanted in this store. And her mother's like, don't fucking test me right now.
Dude, this mom looks like she is seconds away from a domestic violence call. Like,
there's a line in this overarching song which is half, I guess it's thirds. It's a third children singing about how greedy and spoiled they are. A third parents telling their kids to calm the fuck down or they'd disown them.
Right.
And a third Geppetto being like, I wish I could have a kid.
Not just here. This blew my mind. I wish I could have a kid.
And he's judging these other parents. He thinks these parents don't know how good they have it.
They're ungrateful.
They are not suited to have children.
I need a quick factual fact check. You were thinking of Veruca Salt.
Veruca Salt, yes.
Because Violet Beauregard, I believe, is the one who inflates like a balloon.
Great. What I like, I'll tell you what, I do like this scene because this kid fucking sucks, and this lets Geppetto show off how good he is with kids, asterisk, as like an uncle type character. You know what I mean? I'm good with kids, asterisk. Okay? Because it's a lot easier to take control of the situation or calm down a kid when you are essentially a stranger. Not stranger, but like there is a level of removal. A kid is not going to throw the same kind of fit in front of you that they will throw in front of their mom. Right. And he calms down this kid by giving her some candy and like making a little game out of it. And she's happy and she runs off. And her parent is like, oh, thank you. Because, like, you know what? If anyone else can stop my kid breaking down 1,000%, thanks.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things where it's not this is such a, like, it's just such a weird thing when at the end of this number, we have all these, because the song starts so joyous and becomes, once we meet this kid, becomes sinister. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the conceit, which it is not doing, it doesn't do that well to communicate it, but I think the conceit is that the song is actually just reflective of how Geppetto is seeing the world. So at the beginning, when he opens the door, it's all joyous because he gets to, like, you know, bring joy to all these kids with his toys. And then as he's seeing, like, you know, fights break out or whatever, or like arguments, it becomes like sinister because he's like, what do these people even deserve children? I love all these kids so much, and these people don't even seem to, you know?
Right.
I think that might be, I don't think that's reading into it too much as it is this movie not conveying that well.
No, I think it's exactly what you're saying. Because, I mean, that's the literal lyrics of the song. It's just, it feels so odd when it happens that, like, it's, because the tone of the kids goes from, like, again, from joy to, like, almost like, again, petulance in a way that feels like heaven became hell in that moment. And it ends on this amazing shot of all of these kids like holding their toys up to Drew Carey as he stands like Jesus on the cross, arms spread, staring up at the heavens. And it's like, that sure is a shot that you guys ended on.
So we go to, it's the end of the day. He's closing up. He pulls the pulls the fucking sheet off of the puppet that he had covered up. It's Pinocchio. Pinocchio is terrifying. The best news is that this is essentially the only shot we get of this puppet.
This actual wooden puppet. because it becomes just a child.
This puppet sucks so fucking much. It's hilarious.
Because this is a Disney production, I was like, well, they're just gonna do like a faithful replica, but no. Instead, we get this nightmare. And
which I assume is kind of made to look like the kid that they hired.
Right. But here's the thing.
But not in a fun Jim Henson way. In a we stole his soul way.
Why did Geppetto make this? If Geppetto's an old man, right, who's like, man, I feel like I missed my chance of being a father. I've spent my whole life doing this job. I wish that I could have a real boy. And then I've made this fucking puppet. Right.
You are upon, I feel like, my main issue with this movie.
Drew Carey is a young, he's hot in this. He's fucking sexy.
He's a business owner.
Up a storm.
Here's the thing about Drew Carey in this movie. He flirts with people
all the time.
I can't have that. The only reading of this that I think makes any sense is if
right.
Geppetto the character is completely asexual.
Or gay.
He could also be gay. That is fine. I feel like that's
either way.
I feel like that's historically a little bit more fraught. It's the 90s, early 2000s. But or gay. But either way, he is somebody who it is not in the cards for him to have a child. He could also be a widow, but they didn't make him a widow. Like they made in Guillermo del Toro, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, they made him a widow or widower. I guess widower for males, I think.
Right. A widower. And
and that way you have a reason to why is Geppetto unhappy? Because he wants a kid, he can't have a kid, and also in that one his kid died. And in the original, and in a version with maybe Dick Van Dyke in it, it's like, this is an old man. He maybe always thought he would have kids. And it just never happened.
And then life has
passed him by in this way. But Drew Carey is 42, looking 32. This is a guy...
He's looking amazing.
...who could go out and get it. Like, right now, he could probably get married in a week if he put himself out there.
In a day, that librarian, Anna Gasteyer, is putty in his hands. Sorry, Anna Gasteyer is also in this movie as the teacher, the school teacher,
marm or something. Yeah,
yeah.
I quite like that scene on its own.
It's so good.
But in the movie, I was like, but if he can do this,
if he can do this, making a child is like the easiest part for you right now.
They essentially do a whole song about how easy it is.
Yeah, that is true. And we'll get to that because that is the wildest part of this movie.
It's the one bit I remembered. And I was like, is this about to happen? It sure is.
So the possibly the weirdest performance in this movie shows up.
I just want to mention very quick that they did not let Geppetto keep his gun from the first movie.
No, he comes out, he wields the hat rack or something.
It's a whole hat rack, which, to be fair, if somebody was coming at me with a hat rack, I'd be like, I need to think my way out of this situation right now.
This is going to be tough.
This is going to suck hard.
Right.
But
they're
he doesn't
it's not
have
a
a
Louisville
gun.
Slugger, but it's a gun is definitely a much harsher. I love the idea of Drew Carey pulling out a loaded flintlock from under his pillow and shaking it at Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, by the way, I don't know about you, I was 1,001% convinced she was gonna drop that voice halfway through.
Right. At any moment, it feels it does it now. It's not talking about Dick Van Dyke. It's not as bad as Dick Van Dyke's Gorgie Blimey that he does in Mary Poppins. But it's so weird that she's doing this.
It is very weird. It's not, I wouldn't even call it like a fairy style voice. It's more like Snow White's voice. Where it's just like she's squeaking the whole time. The whole time. And it does become kind of fun that she is speaking in this voice while being the most sarcastic character in the movie. Don't get me wrong. Genuinely entertaining. But I also kept expecting her to be like, the joke is that this voice is me faking it. I thought that's what it was going to be, and it's just not.
It was very odd. It was a very odd performance, and at a certain point, it almost felt like she was filming all of her parts alone, and no one told her.
Green screened her in.
Right, and no one told her, well, Drew's just going to do his normal accent.
Drew's just going to talk like, he's not going to sound like super Italian or like they didn't put like old man makeup on him. It's just Drew Carey.
He's just Drew Carey. It's fine.
You two have worked before, right? Like statistically, probably.
I guess what it is everyone, Drew Carey, Brent Spiner, everyone, all of the adults in this movie, except for Julia Louis-Dreyfus, are like, oh, this is a stage production. And so we're going to be doing a lot of like loud stage acting. But Julia Louis-Dreyfus is just acting. And it's very weird.
I think that kind of, hits the nail on the head, which is, everybody else is going really big with it.
Right.
And she almost goes in the other direction.
Not that I would call it a subtle performance.
Hey, man. I would never say.
Right. I don't want people listening to this who haven't seen the movie to be like, oh, she's doing like a nuanced take. Like
it's just seems like she thinks this is, God, what was it called? Was it the 10th Kingdom? Okay. Sorry. That was just it was like a series of TV movies, or maybe a TV mini series that was that was like about somebody like going to a fairy tale world where all these fairy tales that happened hundreds of years ago, and like how has the world changed? It's like a dark fantasy. And it feels like she thinks it's gonna be like that, where it's gonna be like more like a more fantasy fairy tale world. But it's not. It's just a world where people dance a lot.
It's just the backlot of Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's just a slightly different vibe. Again, I don't think it ruins the movie, and I don't think it's a bad performance. It's just weird.
Yeah. It's just weird. And again, you're right. It's not bad. I like her a lot more than I like the original Blue Fairy, because the person she is tormenting, and explicitly she is tormenting him, is Geppetto. Right. When before, she's supposed to be some godly figure who's just trying to help Pinocchio. I'm like, what the fuck are you on, lady?
Yeah, she's in the original Pinocchio, she comes off as almost like an alien from another planet that doesn't understand human emotions. In the Guillermo del Toro movie, she is
like an alien from another planet that doesn't understand human emotions.
Right. She's like the goddess of life and doesn't understand human emotions. She's just excited about the idea of it. In this, she's this movie takes the weird stance of, it's not a weird stance. It's like once you realize that this is a movie about Geppetto. It's not about Pinocchio.
Right.
Pinocchio matters only as a vector in which we can empathize with Geppetto as a person. Then and from there we realize that it's all Geppetto's fault, which means somebody needs to be punishing him to teach him a lesson, a la the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. in a Christmas Story.
Yeah,
and that
Christmas Carol. But yes,
thank you. That person is then the Blue Fairy.
Yeah,
and I love that choice. It's so good.
It works surprisingly well, even if she has to explicitly say it at the very end of the movie.
Right.
She has to be like, and this is the theme of the movie. I still think it works. I think it's a good idea for.
It makes a lot more sense when you're a TV movie, and it's like, I don't know how much of the movie these people have watched.
That's so fair. Yeah, so then we get Pinocchio and Geppetto. The kid playing Pinocchio is pretty good. Asterisk kid, you know?
Like two things about this kid. One,
I bet you I'm going to know one of them.
He's from Albuquerque. Love that. Good for him. Second thing, he was the Slovakian 3-year-old boy in Titanic.
So that's so funny. I knew that one. There was another thing I thought you were going to say, which is
Why did you know that?
I read it in a YouTube comment under this movie.
That's amazing. Okay,
but the other thing I read was that he voices Pinocchio in Kingdom Hearts.
So that's the thing I was gonna say is this motherfucker sounds exactly like the Pinocchio from the original movie. I'm glad that got him. That he's getting residuals out the wazoo for recording those voice lines for Kingdom Hearts. I bet.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
I hope this kid is doing well. He's not a kid. I guess he's older than me, but like
he's a grown adult.
Yeah, he's a grown ass man. But like he sounds exactly like the original Pinocchio performance. It feels almost like they took. I mean, they did literally, I think, just have him lip sync the "I Have No Strings" from the original movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
But outside of that, like I couldn't tell you that definitively because again, there's no.
How are you to know?
Yeah, there's no production information about this film. My guess is that they did that, but his voice is so close to the original Pinocchio's that like it could be him just singing. Like he's very again, like you said, good for a kid.
Yeah.
But it helps that he just is eerily his voice sounds exactly like that. Like how would you feel if there was a kid out there who sounded exactly like out there. Who sounded exactly like child Haley Joel Osment?
I honestly wouldn't think about it too much.
it would but then had to play a character that he had to, I don't know, they did secondhand lines too.
According to Wikipedia, it was actually sung by him, but I don't know if that's true.
I'll believe Wikipedia. It's very good. It's very good. He is just a kid, though. They got makeup on him and stuff, but the quality of the video I was watching was so bad. I couldn't tell.
In most scenes that aren't zoom-ins, you can't tell. The only telling thing is that he has, like, big, chunky elbows.
And big, chunky knees.
Yeah. And that's what you would see. That's really the big tell most often.
We get a montage song. How do you feel about this song?
This song is all right.
Geppetto and Son.
Geppetto and Son. I think the themes of the song are good. I think the lyrics of the song are good. I think the song itself is kind of okay. You know? Yeah, so they are, Geppetto's just excited to have a son. And I think it's very telling that, like, he has not considered what that means. That he has a son that's, like, all he wanted. He doesn't necessarily want to raise a son. Not because he doesn't want to, but because he doesn't know what that experience is like. And I think that a lot of the problems that are about to come up are from getting a, like, 8 to 10-year-old kid who's actually been alive for 3 days. Like, most parents get to teach their kids stuff slowly, but Pinocchio has a weird baseline of stuff he does and doesn't know.
Right.
And that's difficult as a parent, I feel like.
It is one of those things where the Geppetto's whole, like, attitude towards Pinocchio, which is like, we're gonna do all the classic dad and kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna we're gonna ride a bike. We're gonna walk around town. We're gonna work together. And it really does almost feel like Geppetto never had a dad.
Yeah, there is an interaction where it's like, what did he think of his dad? Maybe he was just so much like his dad that he loved doing all that stuff together, but maybe his dad died young. I don't know. Like, so maybe he only has like an idealized version of what a dad is like.
Right.
We get this montage. Basically, Pinocchio keeps getting into shit, and Geppetto's trying to stop him. A lot of stuff, some stuff is like, this kid's being a bit of a shit, and some stuff is like, he just doesn't understand basic, don't walk into wet cement.
Right.
After the big song montage, he tries to get Pinocchio to help him build a toy. He's building like a Pegasus. And he doesn't, like, sit down and be like, here's what I'm doing, and, like, try and get him interested in it. He's just like, no, you want to do this because you're my son. Make these wings.
It's what my son would want to do.
Right.
In my mind.
And so he's kind of sitting on his own away from him, which is, again, like, not it, I feel like. And Pinocchio gets distracted and starts climbing on shelves and knocks them all down. And then we get the first line that I was like, that's pretty good, which is Drew Carey just looks back at him and says, tomorrow you're going to school. And one of the reasons I love that is because in the first movie, I had such a problem with how they handled getting Pinocchio off to school. This guy has a miracle happen to him, and the first thing he does is send his kid away on his own. But like, in this movie, it's like, there's been like a week of stuff not being how he expected it to be. And he was basically ready, it seems, to homeschool his son to like teach him everything he knows. And right. He's like, actually, you know what? Like, I need some fucking help. But like, you are going to school. And I think that's a big thing for parents is like, school is also daycare. It's when I get free time away from my child.
Right. No, it's good that he doesn't just send his kid away, but the film still frames it as like, this is his fault, right? Like he is not accepting responsibility for Pinocchio. He's just like, yes. Well, let's just send him to school so he can be out of my hair for a little bit. And
one other thing is that I do kind of enjoy about this version of Geppetto. He's also like kind of a pushover. He gave Pinocchio his bed first night and then did not acquire a new bed. He just sleeps on the floor.
Right. Yeah, he's just like, well, I guess I sleep on the floor now.
Which means this whole time that he's had a kid, he has not gotten a good night's sleep. Like, that's part of it.
That is part of it. According to the people I know who are parents of babies. Pinocchio immediately gets into a fist fight.
Yes.
With Anton Yelkin. I don't know if you recognize. I did immediately. I was like, holy shit.
I did not.
Yeah, that's a very young Anton Yelkin who would go on to play Chekhov in the Star Trek reboots.
Okay.
He would play his other big movie that he did was he did Terminator Salvation and Odd Thomas. He did Odd Thomas. He was Odd Thomas in Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas. Oof.
And then he tragically passed away very, very young in 2016. He like in like a car accident. But yeah, he's in this as a little shit who's just like beating the shit out of Pinocchio.
Now fair's fair.
I would beat the shit out of Pinocchio too if he did this to me.
So Pinocchio's like, I don't even know what to do at school, and Geppetto just says, just do what the other kids do.
Just do what they do. And
so Pinocchio starts straight up copying everything this kid says and does. And the film is clear. It is clear from the film's perspective that this is an honest mistake on Pinocchio's part. But
right.
Geppetto is like, you little asshole.
You're doing this on purpose.
Because here's the thing, if you saw a kid doing this, you're like, you're being a little asshole. Stop it.
Right.
Which, absolutely, fair. This is when he flirts with the teacher and is like, and you're sort of like, okay, well, Geppetto can get it. What's he doing wishing kids to life?
Right. He could make his own wishes come true.
I didn't like that.
It's you have the power within you to make that pause go away.
So, and then this is also when we learned that Pleasure Island is a fucking known quantity in this world. And I was like, holy shit! Like, what the fuck?
We all just know about this, and we're just like, let's not think about it.
The teacher's like, kids like this end up at Pleasure Island. And I was like, kids like this end up at Pleasure Island? That's the lore? Like,
she's basically tossing him into that wagon herself.
Yes.
She's threatening him. She's like, if you let him come back to school like this, I'm personally shipping him off to Pleasure Island.
And while Geppetto is dragging his boy home, they run into Stromboli. No Fox in this one, which is all right.
No.
Stromboli, who is essentially playing this like Captain Hook.
Yes. Which,
chef's kiss. This is perfect.
I don't think I've seen Brent Spiner in a movie that I wasn't like overjoyed by his performance. He's such a good energy in this. He's evil, but he's not scary.
Yes. But he is evil. He is something that has to be overcome, but the original Stromboli was terrifying. Like, and he's not that. He has this thing where his puppet keeps interrupting him and he keeps arguing with it. And it is in another kind of movie and maybe delivered by another performer. I would be so fucking over this so fast. And here,
very, very quickly.
Here, I love it. I'm like here for it every time.
It's just fun. It's just a fun little performance. He's having a good time. I'm having a good time. I think the only thing about this performance that I think is odd is when we get to the end of the movie. Yes,
100%. This performance cannot hold up to what I feel like he and the movie is trying to do. At the end of the film, where it's like, because it kind of feels like his heart is growing like the Grinch, except
3 sizes that day. Yeah. But then he pops it like a balloon. He's like, no, my heart will not grow 3 sizes today. I will not allow you to make me a better person through the power of song.
The one song in the movie that I think genuinely works.
It's good.
We'll get there.
So that's the thing is Stromboli also gets his own song, which is Bananas.
Sorry. That song's also fun. So Stromboli he's just trying to get people interested in his stupid show, and nobody wants to come.
Nobody gives a shit about his dumb puppets.
The way he's selling it is not working. He's like, see, marionettes do flips. And like, dude, that's the easiest thing for a marionette to do.
Right. Well, I think the other funny thing is he's not a good puppeteer.
Yes. So he runs into Geppetto and Pinocchio, and he's like, oh.
A wooden boy.
And he's like, I would love to have, I'm always looking for talent. I'd love to have him as an actor, basically. And Geppetto drags Pinocchio away and goes, haven't I told you not to talk to strangers? And Pinocchio just goes, no.
Well, I'm telling you now.
And it was a great moment because it's like, this is the problem that Geppetto faces, is that he's trying to speedrun fatherhood.
He wants to do all of the highlights and he doesn't want any of the lowlights. And it's like, my brother in Christ, the highlights are what you remember, but the lowlights are like the part that make you fall in love with somebody. You gotta be there for the whole journey.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. You have to tell him not to talk to strangers. Like,
you do. You have to tell him this.
And then we get what I think is the weakest both implementation and explanation for the growing nose.
This whole scene, how do I say this? I think it's a good thing that Drew Carey doesn't have it in him to yell at a child. However, this scene is demanding from both him and this child a level of like emotional buy-in that neither of them can deliver.
I think that's fair.
Where Geppetto's just kind of, he's had it up to here with Pinocchio. He's telling him, you got to go up to your room. Like, no talking, no singing, no toys. You're grounded, although he doesn't say those words.
Yeah.
And then while Pinocchio is in his room, there's a banging crash. And Geppetto runs in, and the music box is off the shelf and broken on the floor. And Geppetto's like, immediately is like, why would you do this? I told you no toys. And Pinocchio's like, I wasn't even near the damn thing.
Right.
And his nose grows. Nose grows. That's the sound of the nose growing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I genuinely don't even. I know you're going to tell me that Geppetto just is like, they say that if a boy lies, his nose gets bigger. And I'm like, that's not.
He says something like exactly like that. And they don't even go for the level of metaphor in the original film, which is a decent metaphor.
Right.
I don't know why they didn't just steal it. They're allowed. It's their film.
But Guillermo del Toro stole it.
Yeah.
And it's not even his film. What is it? When you lie, and you lie, it grows and becomes as plain as the nose on your face.
Plain as the nose on your face. Yes, it's a fucking great metaphor that turns into a great visual metaphor. It's wonderful.
It's a banger. It's the thing. It's the thing that we all know about Pinocchio is that his fucking nose gets bigger when he lies.
But for some reason, instead, they drop that metaphor completely, but keep the little boys become jackasses eventually one.
Dude, to be fair, the delivery of it in this is so evil. I love it.
Pleasure Island in this movie, we'll obviously get to it, is not as viscerally upsetting as in the original, but you're like, this is an evil place run by evil people to do evil things. This is a human trafficking, right?
The most evil person, I think, in the history of film. Usher.
He is genuinely, like, it's very off-putting because he has a level of, like, charm to him that you can tell is sinister in this film. Fuck, I'm trying to think of a thing in nature that charms stuff.
You know what I mean? Snake.
Well, sort of like an anglerfish, maybe? Like something that, like, draws you in.
Right. He has like a, I don't want to say that because I don't want to, there's once I say this, it's going to be clear that this movie is playing in like a really weird racial space, but he has almost like a drug dealer kind of affectation about him.
This movie is playing in a really weird racial space, specifically with Usher, not, I think, with any other part of the film.
Yeah, no, with the one other character who is just there because he's good friends with Drew Carey.
Well, they're okay. To be fair, there are a lot of side characters who are people of color.
No. Yeah, it's a very diverse cast. I'm just saying that, like,
they're only the only reason they exist is to dance and sing a single line. Like, but it's like here's
to go to bed before dessert.
Oh, we'll fucking get there. The fucking Stepford children.
It's a whole Stepford town.
Yeah, it's some rough shit. But do you know who I compared him to in my head? I automatically did this because they do a lot of the same, like,
and
dance moves. I feel like is Dr. God, what the fuck is his name from Princess and the
Frog, right?
Yeah. It's like,
do you think they based his design off of him because they're wearing like the same thing?
I think it would be fascinating if they did. If the people who designed him for Princess and the Frog were like, do you remember that Geppetto film with Drew Carey?
With Usher?
With Usher? You remember how Usher was, like, really fucking creepy in that film? What if when he did... what if our guy who does Friends from the Other Side did that?
Dr. Facilier.
Dr. Facilier, yes.
The Shadow Man.
And it feels less weird in that movie because the main characters are black.
Right.
But it feels more weird in this movie. To back the fuck off from Pleasure Island, because that's not what's happening.
No, right now what's happening is Stromboli's happening, right?
Well, no. Even before that, Geppetto leaves. Geppetto leaves his essentially newborn son,
his baby boy,
alone in his house because he is going to find the blue fairy to complain.
He's calling the manager.
Yes, essentially. This is, I think, about the worst thing that Geppetto will do in the film. Like, this will really be like, this is the low point of this character. This is when we're like, he sucks. He needs to change in a major way.
Right. I don't think I like this song. But, in fact, I think this is the worst song in the movie. But,
okay.
The performance...
Just because it's magic.
Yes, just because it's magic. Julia Dreyfus's performance with Drew Carey in this genuinely has a lot of really good chemistry in it. And I loved their dancing. It is not the worst song in the movie because of that.
The scene was really fun.
It's good. So he shows up and he's like, you fucked up. You gave me a broken kid. How dare you, first of all? And she's like, my guy, I gave you the ingredients, but you still have to make the soup.
Yeah.
And he's not getting it. And that's the great thing about this song is he's not getting it. He's like, I can't see what you're trying to say because I'm so caught up in my own anger at the situation.
Yeah, he's like, this kid isn't acting how my kid would act, basically. And she's like, that's not how kids work.
Right.
And one of the things that I find very fun about the scene is that she seems to magic him into dancing with her.
Yes, she's puppeting him. She's literally puppeting him. It's awesome. It
for like the
so much
entire scene. She's like, I want to do a dance number in this scene. And he like has to go along with it. It's very fun. It also does establish one of the things that's a little bit weird in this movie, which is that they are showing off some chemistry, and it makes it feel like she is Pinocchio's mother. Which I guess she kind of is, except she doesn't have a single fucking scene with Pinocchio. And clearly doesn't care about him other than to teach Geppetto a lesson. And so, again, if this was a movie that was taking itself a little bit more seriously, I think I would get really caught up in how weird it is. But because it's not, I get to just kind of have fun with this. But then he goes home. By the way, this is going to be about the last time we see this minor character. I need to bring him up. Figaro's in this movie. It's just a cat.
Oh, right. He's just a cat. It's just a cat.
It's just a cat, but, like, they go to the trouble of putting the cat in, like, some of the musical numbers. Like, while Drew Carey is singing, he's holding Figaro.
Holding the cat, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. They didn't get a tuxedo cat, which I wonder if it was just, like, they had a cat who had the disposition to be in this movie.
The credits are Figaro as himself, so I think they just got a cat named Figaro.
Great.
So that it would probably so that it would respond to the name.
Yeah. So Geppetto goes home. He sees only Figaro and not Pinocchio. And Pinocchio has left a note which I disliked explicitly because I just watched the Guillermo del Toro one. And I'm like, Pinocchio should not be writing in cursive right now. He went to half an hour of school.
Right. I did in that moment really feel the absence of Jiminy Cricket in this.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the book, he's not really, like, he's a very minor role, that they made him a big role for the Disney version. But still, it felt very odd that in that moment that he wasn't there.
I mean, I agree. I think that they just didn't want any effects in this movie. You know?
Right.
And so they couldn't do a little cricket, because they're not going to do a little CGI cricket.
They had the money to put, like, Julia Louis-Dreyfus on a hoist, and that's about it.
Yeah. They could make a 3D model of Pinocchio T-pose for a sec.
Right. She's going to spin him in real life and in her mind. There's a scene later in the movie where the Blue Fairy floats and starts chasing Drew Carey, and he starts running away from her, and it looks like something out of The Naked Gun. It looks so ridiculous. I loved it though. I was really happy. There's a lot of her floating around in this that's really great.
So Geppetto reads the note. The note says that Stromboli came by and Pinocchio is going to go live with him. Probably because Geppetto Pinocchio said, I bet Stromboli doesn't treat his son like this. And Geppetto was like, yeah, go live with Stromboli then. Which is like...
Go live with Stromboli then.
Which is like, you have got to have learned what not to say to your kid by now.
Right. There are a lot of things that you don't want your child to hear you saying, right?
Yes.
That they're a disappointment. They're not at all what I wanted. I didn't want this. I wish I didn't have this. I wish this didn't happen to me.
Yeah, he does try to get a fucking return on Pinocchio within Pinocchio's earshot. I feel this is like parenting 101. Even if you feel this way, at somewhere in your heart, you don't let this out ever, because you never know when your kid's going to be in earshot of it. Like, this is the kind of shit that like kids go to therapy for, because it's like you could really destroy a child's trust in you. Yeah.
If they hear you speaking like this. I think he just goes to Stromboli's act, right?
Here's the thing. At first, and I was like, they can't do this. At first it looks like he's going to give up.
Oh, yeah. There is a brief moment where I was like, where I really felt like he was going to be like, I guess it's better off this way for me and him.
He's like, maybe this is better for both of us. He gets to go be a star, and I get to go back to my life. And this might actually be his lowest point. But then almost immediately he's like, but he can't sleep without these. And he so the thinnest excuse to go out and find Pinocchio.
Right.
So he ends up at the show. Pinocchio singing I've Got No Strings. He sees everybody cheering. Stromboli went out and danced with them. And everybody's saying oh, look at Stromboli and his kid. They're so great. They look like each other. He must be a great dad. And it's fucking. It's getting him. Immediately we cut to Stromboli. Pinocchio's in a cage.
Yeah.
He's like, let me out, please. Why am I in here? And he's like, well, I gotta keep my valuables safe, kid.
What if somebody comes in here and tries to take my property? I love his performance so much.
Yeah.
But then
I was not sure how this was gonna play out, because I was genuinely like, how the hell could Stromboli get Geppetto out of here? And the answer is by pretending he is an even worse father than Geppetto.
Right. He's like, oh, well, after his, he was like, this town ain't big enough for me. I'm going off to bigger things. And he just walked away.
Yeah. And Geppetto's like, what you let him walk away? And he's like, sure did.
Yep. Why wouldn't I? He's his own wooden boy. Geppetto's such a, like you said, he's such a pushover. He's like, well, I gotta go get him.
Yes.
Where did he go?
I also love that Stromboli does two things. One, he gets Pinocchio's name wrong only when he's talking to Geppetto, as though to be like, oh, I don't even think about this kid. I don't even remember his name.
I certainly don't obsess over him.
Yes.
Day and night.
And two, he does this thing where he's like, he went this way. Again, he can't really remember. Kid's so not important to him.
He's so not important to me.
And meanwhile, we don't see this, but Pinocchio somehow got out of his cage.
So this was a moment here where I was like, is Jiminy Cricket in this movie and we don't see him because that's Pinocchio's thing?
I have had that thought. because famously Geppetto does not meet Jiminy Cricket, never knows he exists.
But he also doesn't meet the Blue Fairy in the original movie.
No, and it's very important that he meets the Blue Fairy, especially in this movie. So, I don't know. I don't think Jiminy Cricket exists. My best explanation, I actually had two thoughts. One, that actually one of the other boys picked the lock, because these are little shithead boys who know how to pick locks. Or two, that the fairy just broke them out, like she did in the original. Just boom. Right. Lock opens, get the fuck out of there. And then immediately, I love this. There is a fucking huge caravan that just says Pleasure Island on it. And Stromboli is looking through
oh yeah, like a spyglass.
And he sees the kid getting on the fucking thing. He's like, doesn't he know what they do to kids on Pleasure Island? Even Stromboli's like, fuck Pleasure Island.
Stromboli, who is evil, who is like, I'm kidnapping. To be fair, Stromboli is like, this isn't a real child.
Yes.
He's property. But I love the panic in his voice where he's like, what? What is this wagon? Pleasure Island. Oh, no, 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 no.
He's like, they'll ruin him there.
They'll everything I have. We have to go after him. And I was like, we? Who's we? And
who is we, Andy?
Who is we? The we is all of his fucking puppets. And he gets this musical number. Is it Bravo Stromboli?
Bravo Stromboli.
Where we find out that all of his he's like, all of my puppets are washed up. They're all I don't even know what the word he uses is, but other than he uses washed up and he uses another word, but he's like, I need something that won't ever go stale, that won't ever rot. And he gets his like little tragic backstory. At this point, I think in the movie, May walked in and she's like, what the fuck are you watching?
It's fucking art, Mavis.
She was asleep in the other room, and she's like, I just heard a bunch of children singing. And I was like, is he just watching children? Well,
I love that because that says that Stromboli is a great voice actor because he's got all those children voices.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about when she walked in on Satisfaction Guaranteed? Because that's going to be close. No, it's not yet. Excuse me.
No. She walked in on this, but she was like, she had only heard like all of the children singing parts because she was like napping, and then she heard the adult singing. She was like, "What the fuck is happening in this room?"
So I think Bravo Stromboli is a really fun song because it's him arguing with the puppets and then giving his whole backstory. And he's, like, packing everything up so that he can go chase down Pinocchio. I did not call him Pinocchio in the entirety of the Guillermo del Toro one, and I was genuinely like, but that was going to be my thing for the Year of the Puppet.
That's going to be your bit. So he takes off, and now both him and Geppetto are... Here's the thing: is I thought, well, I guess this is where Stromboli's like whole deal ends in the original movie.
Yeah,
but maybe they're gonna do I guess he's gonna follow Pinocchio, so maybe he's gonna be in the movie for a little bit longer. But I was fully expecting him to not be in the movie more than this.
Yeah. But Stromboli is essentially the villain. He's like the last thing that Geppetto has to overcome.
Right. He's the final test.
Yeah.
Although we don't know this at the time. But then we go back to Geppetto. I keep struggling not to just say Drew Carey.
I don't see why he disappears into the role.
It just... the role disappears into him. Like, he's just acting. He's not acting at all. He's just being Drew Carey.
He does have a good line here. I should have made a chair instead of a kid.
That is really good. The Blue Fairy. Does the Blue Fairy show up again?
Yeah, the Blue Fairy he and the Blue Fairy get into another argument. She has an excellent line where he's talking about how like Pinocchio isn't... This is her fault. She obviously makes mistakes. Pinocchio hasn't lived up to expectations. And she says, because you're such a prize? And he just goes, well, I'm not talking to you anymore. But so they get into a little argument and she's like, okay, he's not going to figure this out. And magics the path that he's on so that he runs into,
Wayne Brady,
but like,
Lizarno
is his name. So Lizarno. Okay, we'll talk about this in a second. Let's start with what we're told about Lizarno from the front, which is that he is a bad escape artist / magician who is like 5th generation. This is what his dad always wanted him to do, but he's basically just setting shit on fire and like getting himself tied up. And he's good at making toys, which Geppetto can immediately see because he's a toy maker. And he's like, look, man, you shouldn't just have to do what your dad wants you to do. You should do what you are passionate about and what you're good at, and you're good at this. And then, when he leaves, it's revealed that Lizarno is faking.
Yeah.
Because he's magicked up by the Blue Fairy, or maybe hired by the Blue Fairy, and Geppetto was magicked onto his path. Here's the problem with this.
Right.
Are the residents of Idilia are not faking. So there are only two possibilities. One, that this place is completely fake, which would be nice.
That would be great. I don't think that's true, though. Or
that this place is real, and the Blue Fairy's like, and I know exactly where to send him next.
Right. She has like cherry picked a route for him, so that he can learn all the things he needs to learn. And the thing he learns from Lizarno, the magician, is like parents shouldn't force their kids to just be them. They should let them be their own person and follow their own bliss. And a big part of that means that maybe your kid doesn't do what you do for a living. There's a great interview with Charles Barkley.
Good name for a dog. Sorry.
There's a great interview with Charles Barkley where he's talking about how he was so happy when his daughter was born. He was so happy to be a parent, and like he was so excited to have a kid. And then as she got older and she started getting tall, he was like, she's going to be great at basketball. She's going to be so good at basketball. She's got the hands for it, like I'm so excited to teach her. He immediately started like coaching her and having her play in like kids leagues, and tells her like her whole childhood, like you have a future in this. You're going to be so good. Like women's basketball is going to be changed because of you. And then when she's in high school, she's like, I want to be a doctor. I don't want to play basketball. I want to be a doctor. And he cried. He was like, okay, but like he cried about it. He says this in the interview. He's like, I cried about it for days because I was like, I thought this was going to be this like magical thing between us. And I realized in that moment that I was making her do something she didn't want to do. I was putting my dreams onto her. And that wasn't fair to her. And it must have been so hard. And it was so brave of her to tell me that she didn't want to do this. And that she wanted to do something else with her life. And I was like, that's crazy, Charles Barkley.
Another just side tangent. Dr. Barkley is also a good name for a dog.
My dog, Dr. Barkley. Dr. Barkley feels like a Sherlock Bones character. Interesting.
I was thinking that Dr. Barkley could be like a Disney TV character, old dog that takes care of other dogs. I don't know. I'm workshopping it.
Right. And all this to say, right? Like this is such a great lesson. This is a good lesson for parents to learn. Mm-hmm. In as many words, but to then hit you with Lizarno looking at the Blue Fairy and going, did I do a good job? It's like, hold on a minute. So are you actually a good magician?
I don't know if he exists.
Right. He could be completely fake.
Yeah, man. What if he's a different kind of fairy? She mentions there are others.
The green fairy's always fucking. Maybe he's the green fairy.
The green fairy. Anyway,
so then Geppetto wanders into Idilia.
Yeah.
Which is all right. I want to talk about the thing I liked about this, and then we can talk about everything that's wrong with it.
It's a horror film. It's like a horror short, and that is fun.
It feels like a Twilight Zone episode, like in the middle of this movie.
It's the one thing in this movie that I remembered.
I liked the professor has a little kid professor.
Andy, after this movie ended, I was sitting around like, did he make this kid? Or
he had to have made this kid.
Here's the thing, man, is that this kid doesn't act like the other weird kids. So either he was either he was like, I need to make him in my image, and therefore he did.
Correct.
Or this is just a kid who grew up to be like him. And together they were like, let's make the perfect child.
No. I think this is his perfect kid is just a him. Little him.
Yeah.
Right? It's just him in MS Paint, but you drag him smaller.
I think you're right. But like, I was thinking about it.
I love that. I love it so much. It's such a good gag.
What's also funny about it is like that it's so fun. That's like the least evil thing that is done with this machine. Like to make basically like a little you to raise is like that feels a lot less terrible than the person who made triplets who all want to go to bed without dessert. Like that is so weird. So
in Idilia,
yeah,
they have perfected the art of making children.
And honestly, the lyrics of the song are like so fun. Where he's like, yeah, we used to do it the old-fashioned way.
We used to do it the old-fashioned way. But that was
too much problems.
Too random. There are too many variables.
And it's like, that's kind of delightful. I also like how Professor, I'm going to have a hard time with this, Buon Ragazzo. Anyway, this is the professor.
Professor B.
When Geppetto goes to him, because Geppetto's like, I lost my kid, and the people in town are like, that's so weird. You should go talk to the professor. When he talks to the professor, he's like, no, I built him out of wood, and a fairy brought him to life. And the professor is first like, he takes two things away from this. First, fairies fuck up all the time. You got a bad kid. And then second, that like this guy is also an inventor. He's gonna love this. He sees a kindred spirit in Geppetto, and I love that. That he basically believes they're having a different conversation. Geppetto's here like, this is awful.
Well, so that's the thing, right? Is like everyone, when he says, I'm looking for my son, everyone in this town is like, oh, well, you got to go to Professor B. He'll get you your son.
He'll get your son. Don't worry about it.
And then he shows up with this other couple who, I hate these people. They are, I hate them. But they're like, we've been talking about it and we know exactly the kind of little girl we want. And then he's like, no, my son ran away. And they're like, oh my God. Yeah. And the professor's like, don't say that shit in front of my customers, dude.
Like, did you buy the kid here?
Did you buy the kid? And he's like, what? No, I made him myself. And he's like, oh, he made him himself. And immediately those two parents are like, oh, thank God.
I also like when the professor leans into them and says, you get a discount for the referral.
Oh, right. So he's charging them.
I mean, come on. It's a business. Although he seems so excited to get Geppetto on board that he just cranks out like 5 kids.
He cranks out a Pinocchio, 2 boys, a girl, and then twins.
Yeah.
And is like, wouldn't you love any of these? What's going to happen to these kids?
So can I tell you something that I just thought of that I think I thought of as a kid? I think I thought of this as a kid and like it lived in my mind for a little while and then went away. Are these people the parents of the kids on Pleasure Island? Who just like had kids that they didn't like? Essentially, like these are genuinely, unlike the kids in Geppetto's town, like terrible parents who can only function as parents if their kids are fucking perfect.
So I don't think so. I don't think the movie's drawing that clear of a through line through it.
I don't think it is.
What I got out of this is these parents are themselves like perfect kids who grow up to have perfect kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so you get this, because this guy, there's this fucking guy walking around.
Everybody in this movie is like all of the characters in The Sound of Music who aren't Nazis.
Correct, yeah. They're just like twee little, like just perfect. Yeah. Because there's this fucking guy, when they start singing this song, Satisfaction Guaranteed. Yes. Which is a reference to what Geppetto told his customers at the beginning of the movie, which I thought was really sweet.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Because it's like twisting his own words against him, where one of these guys...
It's an evil version of a nice thing for a business to do.
Right. Because one of the guys that they run into just wanted a kid who could spell good.
Yeah.
And all this kid does is spell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? What the fuck does this guy do for a living? So we go around and we meet all of these other parents who have all of their perfect children, and they're all like perfect child age, no babies, no mess, no fuss, right?
Yeah.
They pop out 12-ish. Just as a quick aside, one of these kids is like kind of B tier country singer Renee Olstead.
Okay.
Just again, weird. A lot of kids in this movie go on to become like what I would say like C tier soap opera actors, which I think is funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then also later, Jason Voorhees is in this movie. But then we meet all of these like parents and their perfect kids, and it's like they're all like one trick ponies, right? Like these kids can do flips because their parents can do flips. This mom has 3 daughters who all want to go to dinner before
want to go to bed before dessert. Yeah.
And she's like a bread maker, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, and like the lesson here is supposed to be like, you don't want a perfect kid, right? You want a kid who has character, who
perfect kid is explicitly one-dimensional. Like, that's what they're saying. Like, a perfect kid is nothing.
But the movie, I don't think the movie ever really turns the corner on that lesson. Yes, this is a horror movie style situation. Yes, Drew Carey immediately like gets the fuck out of there as soon as nobody's holding him hostage.
As soon as he can.
But at like, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't feel like they ever like, outside of the situation just being generally weird, they never get to that Twilight Zone ending where like everyone, I don't know, like everyone in this town like is like we don't turn around and we don't see like an old ancient 200-year-old man with his perfect 12-year-old child. We don't see the twist that makes me go,
Yeah, I mean, that is fair. That is fair. It doesn't. I think because everything's just in your face in the Twilight Zone, the twist is that this professor's making perfect kids. You know, like,
right.
You would have to reframe the entire scene.
It just feels it's one of those things where it feels like there's all this setup, but there's no punchline.
I feel like it's the same thing we're about to head there. It's the same thing for Pleasure Island though, right? Where it's like, it's once again, like, there is so much stuff going on, but you can only worry about the thing in front of you.
I gotta find my son.
And it's like, yeah, dude, I see like a fucking 1,000 kids here, and they're all being turned into donkeys. Like, holy shit, you have to set this place on fire. Like,
just as a real quick aside, could you imagine if they got Albert Brooks to be Geppetto in this?
I don't know, man. Could I imagine
sorry,
that?
that's the oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's the voice of the dad in Finding Nemo. Oh. alternate reality, Drew Carey as Marlin from Finding Nemo would have probably been really good.
He probably would have been pretty good. Yeah.
I've got to find my son. Love that.
So he runs the fuck away from these people.
He gets out of Dodge so fast.
I was like, nah, no, thank you.
He almost gets run over by the Pleasure Island wagon.
That's so fucking nasty. That's so sick. I can't believe they did that to him.
He almost gets run over by this wagon, and I love that. This is, I think, my favorite line that he delivers in the movie. He's like, where he's just like, another bunch of crazy kids. They're insane.
There's kids everywhere. Yeah, it's pretty.
He starts walking in the other direction. The dramatic irony in this, where he just immediately starts walking in the other direction, and we know Pinocchio is on that fucking wagon. He runs into the Blue Fairy, who torments him some more.
She's having fun with it.
Shows him that Pinocchio's on his way to Pleasure Island.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I got to get there yesterday. And he starts walking, and she's like, other way. Classic. Can't have a kids movie without it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to, and this is the pièce de resistance of I think every Pinocchio thing, Pleasure Island with Usher, featuring Usher.
For Pleasure Island, feat Usher, because of how this movie does it. Pleasure Island is, I feel like, very immediately sinister because Usher is so immediately sinister. And we're very clearly, I mean, this is the one where I'm like, oh, obviously this is from Geppetto's eyes. We don't get to see this from the kid's eyes where it's like a fun place to be. We see it from his eyes where it's like, this is
a
terrifying.
Nightmare place.
This is a nightmare place. This is a place where kids disappear. Adults have to know this. Like, they have to know that kids disappear from here. They don't know about the donkey thing. They just know that kids come in and don't come back. And right. We see this, essentially drug dealer doing a song about how great Pleasure Island is and how there are no rules. And it's fucking upsetting. It's not like terrifying. It's not like super off-putting like in the original. But it's like, this is it for a TV movie, Pleasure Island. I think it hits.
It's definitely fun. I gotta say, I do think that this song, the Pleasure Island song, kind of sucks. I didn't like it. I guess what it is for me is I didn't think the song, I didn't think it was much of a song because it really is just him saying Pleasure Island a lot. I also just kind of wanted it to be more bombastic. Like, I wanted this to be a showstopper, right? Like,
yeah, it's very much, because it leans into like the sinister thing, which means it's kind of slow.
Right.
And it does kind of make you think like a snake or something. It's not like a big showstopper scene.
Which is what I wanted it to be, I guess. Like, when I saw that Usher was in this movie, I wanted this to be like a huge, big, spectacular performance. And I wasn't really expecting this kind of like almost bluesy, like seductive performance that he gives.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little bit disappointed in that, but the culmination of it, where Geppetto ends up in the back rooms.
Pause for a second. Funniest fucking piece of design in this film. Pleasure Island. We just got a whole song about how there are no rules.
Right.
Anything's allowed. Do not enter. Do not enter.
Right. Yeah, that is really good.
Do not enter sign. And I'm like, I don't know if they were just like, obviously it would say do not enter because it's the back rooms, or if they were like, that's fucking funny. But for me, it was fucking funny.
You were like, that's a good visual gag.
Well, I was like, the kids would go in there immediately. You just told them there are no rules.
You tell me there are no rules and you point me at a sign that says don't break this, I'm breaking it. Yeah. I'm breaking it.
Do not enter. I'm going in.
So Geppetto enters and he finds a bunch of donkeys.
And they all have like clothes draped across them.
And he's like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? And he hides behind like some rails.
Yeah.
And then there. He sees some of these so this is, by the way, the person dragging this donkey, I believe this is Kane Hodder, who plays Jason in like all of the Jason movies.
That's so funny.
He can only be evil. Yes. He's dragging this donkey, and the donkey's like, what are you doing to me? What's happening? But they like intercut this kid's voice with like donkey noises, which is like, so the way they do this, I believe, is they give animals like some kind of like a lick that gets stuck to their teeth so that it makes them like move their mouths and stuff. And it's such an old school trick. I genuinely was impressed by it. I was like, oh man, you don't see this in movies anymore, right? You watch a modern cookie cutter fucking what are they called? Space puppies?
Yeah. Yeah, you get one of those puppy buddy movies, and their lips are just like
they're just like around. It's like they're just CGI flapping around those dog mouths like it ain't no thing. And it's like, and that's even if they even have the money for that. Sometimes they just don't move their fucking mouths at all, and they just get to telepathically speak to one another.
Yes,
I genuinely miss. This used to be a real country, Tony, where you could make a talking animal movie and the animals' mouths moved in time and they didn't look like monstrosities, you know?
Yeah.
And then Ronald Reagan somehow ruined that. I don't know how yet.
It always comes back to him.
Figure it out. It's got to be his fault somehow. Air Bud in the original Air Bud movie doesn't even talk. And I was so disappointed when I found that out. He just plays basketball. He's just a normal dog.
We're so off topic.
Right, sorry. And then so
he finds out that
donkey
the donkey
in.
he finds out that the donkey is kids, and he finds out that they specifically get transformed on the roller coaster.
On the roller coaster. Right, because this kid's like, what's happening to me? And the guy dragging him like leans into him, and we cut to his human mouth whispering into this donkey ear, "Don't you know, kids like you just end up making jackasses of yourself." And I was like, on television?
Yeah,
we're saying this in television in the year 2000?
It's like 7 o'clock, man. It's not even that late.
On ABC. This premiered on ABC.
ABC gets replayed on ABC Family, man. Yeah, absolutely. And then he's just like, send this one into the roller coaster
the
one
roller
more time.
Coaster again.
Jeez.
Horrifying.
It like I said, it doesn't have the same visceral, like, wrongness that the original film does. But you feel the stakes raised, like 100%.
Right. Well, because in the original, you get that the scene from The Fly, right? Yeah. Where Candlewick is just in front of our eyes, turning into a donkey. Horrifying. In this, we kind of get a similarly horrifying moment, but not quite about the donkey stuff, where Stromboli and Geppetto run in to collect Pinocchio.
Yeah.
And Usher's like, I don't like this Stromboli guy. Take him out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And these two people on stilts pick him up.
Yep.
And I was like, there's no way they're going to be able to pick him up. Like
they sure seem to.
They're so high up, and they just.
I don't know if he might be wired up or something to make this make sense.
It looked scary. I was like, what if they drop him? What if they drop Brent Spiner? He was just in Independence Day. You can't be dropping him. What if you hurt him?
You can't break his spiner.
You can't. So they drag it. They carry.
I'm working through some bad wordplay today, man. I don't know what it is.
It's something about this movie's bringing it out of you.
It's all the dad stuff.
Yeah. So they carry him out, but they're giving Geppetto a shot, I guess, to play by the rules. That is to say, there are no rules.
Yeah, and I don't know if they were just like, we only have the manpower to carry one adult human off at a time. But he tries to, like, convince Pinocchio to get the fuck out of there.
And Pinocchio goes Children of the Corn on him.
Well, he's like, look, man, you were all like, I don't want this kid anymore, and so, you know what, fuck you.
Right. And then he goes Children of the Corn on him.
He does. And then he's like, there's a parrot here, get him!
All the kids start chanting,
yeah.
Parrot! I was like, they're gonna kill him. These kids are gonna murder this adult.
But he like pushes past them. He gets on the roller coaster after Pinocchio, and it's like a dark ride. They call it a roller coaster, but it's a dark ride, which is the only thing that really makes sense.
Yeah, it's more like the Snow White dark ride than it is like Space Mountain.
Pinocchio transforms so quickly into a donkey. It's like, oh, okay. He's like the first one of the group.
I gotta say, this Pinocchio, not a jackass.
I don't see it really. I guess the idea is that last thing he did was a real dick move.
Maybe it's you gotta turn away from your parents, right?
Yeah.
That's what does it. But of all the Pinocchios, this is the one I was like, I don't think this one deserves to be turned into a donkey, but this is the only one that goes full donkey.
Yeah.
Never go full donkey.
Never go full donkey. Then Geppetto chases him down, and they pull a gate down between him so that he can't reach him, and then Usher does a little, like, memories of Pleasure Island thing, and then we cut to commercial. I was like, that's fucked.
That was the moment when he's like leaning through the gate and he's like covering his face with the hat, and then he does that like actor trick where he's like not smiling, but then the hat goes over his face and he is smiling. And I was like, Usher's evil.
Usher's evil, man.
I think Usher might actually be evil, but no, in that moment I was like, oh man, like I truly deeply wonder if that character from Princess and the Frog is based off of this performance. It's just so eerie.
Once we get back from commercial, Drew Carey's talking about he's about to get eaten by a whale. Eaten by a ding-dang whale.
I love that they couldn't afford to do this. It's
genuinely, I found the whale obviously underwhelming, and it's so funny because they had to build it up from the very beginning, but also kind of delightful about how underwhelming it is.
It's kind of funny. It's funny in a, if you're an adult watching this, you're like, well, yeah, I mean, come on, they're not going to build a fucking whale for this.
I mean, they built a set that looks like the inside of a whale. That's like they are interacting with a real human set. The set as it's built, I'm like, well, this whale is like maybe the size of a Ford F-350. It's a small whale,
right? It's not.
It's not monstrous.
Drew Carey's a big guy, right? He's 6'2", built like a brick house. Like he's a fucking huge guy. He's not a small man, but like, he's like really pushing up against the corners of this whale. Like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know, man, punch your way out. Like, give it the good old college try.
Yeah. The thing that did disappoint me, I wasn't really disappointed in the whale. The thing that disappointed me was that, we really hand wave Pinocchio's donkeyness.
Yeah. Oh, I dived into the water to save you, and the donkey part of me just washed away.
Right. The implication, I think, it can't be that it washed away. The implication must be that because he tried to save Geppetto,
turned back to the father.
Yes, he's a prodigal son. That he proved himself not a jackass, essentially, and just washed away the donkey part. Then they just pretty immediately get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, they do the whole like lying thing.
They do a lying thing.
Pinocchio really rags on Geppetto for like a solid minute.
Okay, I did love that. I was like, because all they're doing is they're tickling his uvula, because he's a girl house, and so that he coughs him up. And the lies that Pinocchio starts telling is like that Geppetto is the most handsome man in the village and the richest and the smartest. And his nose just keeps growing. That's so funny. It's so good. And it only works because this is a movie about Geppetto and not about Pinocchio.
Right.
So we can have a little ragging.
I mean, it's like Drew Carey. That's like his thing, isn't it? Like he gets to be the fall guy.
There was there's a line that I sometimes think of from the Drew Carey show where he's having a lot of good stuff happen to him. One of his friends says, "Somebody up there must have forgotten they don't like you."
So we just like smash cut to them being back home.
Yeah.
And Geppetto says the wildest line, which he's like, well, that was a crazy day. Hold on a minute. Are you telling me that the events of this movie took place within 24 hours?
Oh my God.
Maybe.
No? That honestly, that fucked me up. Well, here's the thing: you can't have left the cat alone for too long.
Right. I was like, so then this. I believe it. The framing of this movie makes sense that it would take place within 24 hours, but I don't like it because he's like, look, the sun's just about to come up. I'm like, no. He's had this kid for 4 days.
Mm-hmm. 5 now.
5 now. I can't believe that all of this happened within 24 hours. So they're going home. They're like, we're going to do all the fun dad stuff. We've learned our lessons. Pinocchio's like, what if people don't like me because I'm made of wood? And Geppetto's like, doesn't matter that you're made of wood. What matters is what's in your heart. And and also that you're my son.
Yeah. And then out of the woodwork,
genuinely, like, in a move that shocked me to my core.
He's back.
Stromboli's back. And he pulls
the same thing that Guillermo del Toro did, and it did make me have the thought, and I don't know if I should have had this thought. Did Guillermo del Toro take that plot point from the Geppetto movie?
Did he must have watched it. Do you think when he's like, I loved Walt Disney's Pinocchio,
do you think he's talking about
Geppetto?
I kind of think that he probably watched many versions of many versions of Pinocchio while he was writing his film, because, like, I feel like that's what you might do to, like, you know, get a lot of people's perspectives on what this is.
Right,
and just the fact that, like, he pulls out a contract that Pinocchio signed, and I was like, this is exactly what happens.
And it's like a big, like, ostentatious contract. Yeah. And he starts reading it out, and I do find this bit funny.
Uh-huh.
Where he's reading out the contract and the puppet's doing all of the like legalese statements. Yes. Where he's like, the party in question, that means you.
Yes. He says
it's really good.
He will work for him until the end of time or until he dies. whichever comes first.
And this movie puts me in the position where the only thing I can take away from it is that contract law is the most powerful force on earth.
So
more powerful even than magic.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Geppetto, I'm gonna give some free parenting advice to anybody who accidentally signs their kids away. Kick them out and get a lawyer.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
There is no way that this contract is legally binding. A child signed it.
Okay. You said you watched Fresh Prince when you were a kid.
Yes.
There is an episode of Fresh Prince that's stuck in my mind where Carlton and Will are accused of stealing a car that they are. It's like a friend of the family. They're like driving it, but this person forgot that they were doing it and reported it stolen. It was like a silly reason for this to happen.
Right.
But they are accused of stealing a car, and the police are not, like, giving them their rights.
Right.
Because they're like, whatever, you're guilty. No, you can't call your parents. And so Will is like, okay. And he confesses to, like, all of this, like, major crime spree that's been happening. And he says he'll only confess if he gets to do it on TV. So he confesses, it goes on TV. Uncle Phil sees it. He fucking charges down. And they're they're like, your kid did this. We have a signed confession. He's like, did he sign it in the presence of his lawyer? Because I'm his lawyer. Did he sign it in the presence of his legal guardian? Because I'm his legal guardian. And he, like, tears this fucking guy apart. And I have loved that scene. Because, like, that's what you do when somebody tries to pull shit on you.
No, absolutely.
And Geppetto, again, doesn't have the wherewithal to do this. Geppetto's biggest problem, really, is that he's kind of a pushover and goes with whatever anybody says. So instead of doing that, instead of getting big and mad like Uncle Phil did,
right,
he goes, isn't there anything else I can give you? Take anything. And then he says, take everything. And I really like that moment because suddenly Stromboli's like, take everything.
Dude, there was a genuine moment where I was like, are we going to get a Stromboli redemption here? Where he's like, no, keep your boy. For
a second, it looks like it. Because he starts singing this song. Again, I think it's the song that most works in this movie.
It's the big song of the film. It's the song that gets the corny after credits.
Yes, yes. I'll even say that, like, I thought that this was the song that Drew Carey did the best at singing.
Absolutely. I mean, his voice is warbling.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like there are multiple moments where he looks like he's gonna cry.
Yes, and like
Tony did cry.
This is the performance. It wasn't until the very end of this song, because this line fucking slaps like what? And he's like, you know, take my favorite chair, take my house, take everything in here, just don't take my son. And it looks like Stromboli's gonna bend on it, and then immediately he's like, no, I want the kid, and he drags him outside.
he picks him up and carries him like a suitcase.
It's wonderful. And Geppetto calls the Blue Fairy, and Blue Fairy's like, I tried to help you. I've tried to help you this whole time.
If we look at this, this is like the old like story, right? The like, oh God, why didn't you save me? It's like, I sent you 3 boats.
Yes.
Right? It's
that's so many boats.
That's so many boats.
And so she's like, I really tried to help you, and you are not learning this lesson. And he's like, and this is the bit where I teared up. And he says, then finish it. And he says, make me wood or stone or clay. And that's the bit.
I'm not picky about what element you turn me into.
I think Drew Carey on his knees begging for death because his son is being taken away from him. You have to remember that, like, an hour ago, he was like, maybe it's better that he ran away. Like,
right.
This is our shift.
24 hours ago.
And 24 hours ago. And this got me mostly because this is a silly ass movie up to this point. And I thought Stromboli was just going to give up.
Yeah, I thought and Stromboli's looking at this and he's like, oh man, come on, don't.
Like, come on, dude.
Stand up. Like, no, I'm still going to take the kid, but like, come on. He looks pretty uncomfortable.
He does not want to be here.
He's like, I feel like I have to stay to watch him be turned into this, I guess.
I think part of me just really likes references to feeling such big emotions that you would rather be inanimate than feel them anymore.
Yeah. No, it is a very powerful moment for what up until this point has been.
It hasn't been very powerful, like at all.
a pretty dumb fucking time.
A pretty goofy, silly time.
For us to at literally the last minute.
Yeah.
And I do think this line kicks ass. I think this line is so good, where the Blue Fairy says, "You've learned the lesson that matters. What is the point of turning Pinocchio into a real boy if he doesn't have a real father to come home to?"
Right, the whole time.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's perfect. She does have to spell it out, but I do like it. Him turning into a real boy was never on him. It was always on Geppetto.
Always on you. And then we get some of the worst special effects I've ever seen. Oh my
god! They T-pose Pinocchio. Why do they do this? Why don't they just go boom and there's like a sparkle of blue and it's just Pinocchio standing there? But no,
they T-pose him
and then they spinning him.
Like a fucking Beyblade. Let it rip. Rah!
Let it rip.
And then the best part is when he stops spinning, he's still wooden.
He's still wooden. Then they do
turns into a real boy.
God, it's so good. It's like so horribly unhinged. This movie, which has worked so hard to not even need special effects up to this point. Oh my god.
I don't know why they did this. And then
so wild.
Stromboli gets to exit stage left and he's like, oh my god, he's a real boy. This is amazing. This is magical. This is bullshit.
Yes. What am I going to do with this? And he just leaves.
Nobody's going to pay money to see a real boy sing and dance.
And the fairy is like sending blasts after him as he goes, like,
yeah,
that's what she does. She does that laugh.
She does do that laugh. She does have that anime like
Oh man, if she did that, like a Team Rocket or Sailor Moon villain style laugh, I'd be like, I'm in, I'm back.
We're back in.
Oh,
that's
the movie.
Geppetto.
Yeah,
I gotta say, that's a fucking movie. A crisp 89 minutes.
89 minutes, exactly the amount of time you need to do a 2-hour block on Wonderful World of Disney.
You can't be mad at a movie that is under 90 minutes because it's like it went. I legitimately, I was reading while this was on. Like it's so brisk, like a can of tea. I liked it fine. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
I think I totally agree with all of that, with the slight exception of, like, I fucking might watch it again. If somebody wanted to watch it, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I could sit down and watch this dumb movie. I would like for there to be more dumb movies in this vein.
I do think there is a...
It was a really fun time in history, I think. Movie making history.
Yeah. I feel like I'll tell my coworkers this. I'll be like, oh, I wish we still had movies like this. And they'll be like, oh, well, that's the like direct to Netflix stuff. And it's like, no,
that's like shiny
because
and weird, not
because
good.
that shit is like they want this to be a huge big blockbuster. They just weren't good at doing it. Nobody making Geppetto was like, this is gonna break the box office.
Right.
Nobody making Geppetto thought this was gonna be the next Citizen Kane. It was just a fun idea, and everyone in it's having fun. You don't really see this kind of small stakes production anymore. Mm-hmm. I guess that's what it is. Nobody expected this movie to make money. It just needed to fill airtime on television between 5 and 7 on some Saturday, maybe for one season of television.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It doesn't have to be more than that. I miss that. I do think there's something was lost when we reached the era of like, not only does every movie have to make money, every movie has to make like $100 million.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Thank you for listening to Direct to Video VHS. I have been your host, Tony Robusto.
I have been your host, Andy Evergreen Reyes.
You can find me at inspiredbytrueevents.org and the podcast at direct2.video.
Yeah, you can find me here at direct2.video, currently nowhere else. Life's been fun.
Thank you to Scott Buckley for Homeward. Should be playing pretty soon because I have kind of a hard out.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Nah, we're good. We're good. I have to. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. All right. Next time, join us next time for the end of the Summer of the Puppet with Disney's Pinocchio. 2022.
I don't want to watch this movie, but I am the ghost of John Smith.
And I am contractually obligated.
Oh man, I hope there's gonna be a big contract in the next movie. I'll be so jazzed.
Huge. Massive AI con. You can't even read the words on it because it's all AI.
No.
Do you think we're going to get this much Tom Hanks in the next movie?
I actually wanted to say something. Do you think we could just not do the next movie?
Dude, you know what next month is?
Yeah. No.
It's August. Yeah. It's the last month of summer. How can it be the summer of the puppet?
I know. Yeah, I know. Here's the problem, Andy. Here's what it is I have been pleasantly surprised by every one of these movies. And I'm so not. I'm so not by the next one. There's just no way I come away from... I saw a frame of that the other day and I was sickened.
I know. But here's the thing. It's going to be such a good episode.
Yeah.
I was honestly expecting Geppetto to be dog shit in a digestible way. It turning out to be pretty fun, I think, has really put me in such a high. I'm in that. I'm and this is, this is the Icarus, right? Like, flying too close to the sun. I don't know. I can't imagine what the depths my soul can go to with this Disney Pinocchio movie. And I'm kind of excited to find out.